Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to a very special video. I recently had the rare opportunity to check out one of the world's largest video game and console collections. Yes, in the entire world. Now, this is a long video. It's divided into two parts, but you're going to want to watch every second because you're going to see some incredibly rare, incredibly cool, mind-blowing games and consoles that you've never seen before. Thank you so much to my friend Stacy and his wife Christy of the Console Purist Museum for letting me check out their collections. Now guys, I'm one of the only people in the world that has seen this collection in person because it's in their house. Yes, they have a fully laid out, beautifully curated video game museum, one of the largest collections in the world in their house. So yeah, you definitely want to check this out, guys. Now, what's interesting about this museum is not only are there 15,020 games in it, and gosh, well over 300 consoles, it's in a house. This is a fully laid out, beautifully designed museum in a household residence. It belongs to Stacy Burns, who's the guy that runs Console Purist, the awesome Facebook page that I've been a member of a very long time. Stacy's a great guy. We've been friends for years online. Got to meet him today. Really cool. Guys, this is amazing. This is a one-of-a-kind video. You're not going to want to miss this video. There are games for some of the rarest consoles in existence. He's got almost every North American console, and he's got complete collections for 45 systems released in North America. And he's got tons of boxed games. We've got Atari to Xbox and everything in between. Guys, there are some consoles and games in here that I guarantee you've never heard of. So let's check it out. What a special day. I'm super excited to show you guys the Console Purist Museum. Let's go in and check it out. And here's the first room, which would be an amazing game room by itself, but it's just one of several. Each room is just loaded down with retro gaming goodness. The Sears Intellivision up there, the Fairchild Channel F, you guys know I played that when I was 9 years old. My two best friends each had one. There's another room in this house that has a ton of Pong clones in the box, including some I've never seen before. Now the timeline here, you've got the Magnavox Odyssey, the very first video game console, 1972. You've got the Telegames, you got Sears Pong. That's pretty awesome. You got the Coleco Telstar. You guys know me some Coleco. Speaking of the Fairchild Channel F, there you go. And you got the Odyssey 2. Love that system. Very underrated. The Bally Astrocade. What is that system? Never seen it before. JK, 2600. The RCA Studio II. When people ask me what is the worst game system of all time, that one's definitely in the running. The APF MP1000. Just had 14 or so games, including a really cool Space Invaders clone. And there's the Fairchild Channel F2 system, which had the speaker come out of the TV. The original one, it came out of the system itself, which never made any sense. Just an extra unnecessary expense for the company, and it didn't sound as good. So yeah, you got a nice little console timeline here, which is definitely a nice little aspect of the museum. Check out that Jaguar with the CD on top and the 3DO, CDI. Great stuff here, guys. Now look at this, guys. The Apple Pippin, very tough to find. This is the North American version, which is extremely rare, and a Pioneer Laser Active that will not only play Laser Active games, but also Sega CD and Genesis games. You can also get a version that plays the TurboGrafx, but that's the Sega one. Neo Geo. And the VIS system, guys, he's got a complete collection of boxed VIS games. Have you ever even heard of that system? Pretty incredible stuff. In a little bit, I'll show you those games. So yeah, just amazing. Now, I've known Stacy for over 4 years online, and I'm finally getting to check out his collection, which is just amazing. Now, this room has a lot of cart-only games, but here in a minute, we're going to check out some CIB games, some sealed games. Guys, he's got complete collections of Microvision, Sega Genesis, RCA Studio II, Game Wave, Coleco's Telstar Arcade, which is a very small library. But guys, he's got a complete Jaguar set, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, just incredible. This is the best collection I've ever seen by far. There are nifty odds and ends throughout the museum. And check this out, guys. I love that he's got a little controller museum here, all the way from the Magnavox Odyssey and on up. Even got the SNK fighting controller there. And yeah, it's just a great look at different controller designs throughout the years. Really makes for a nice display. Very cool. Guys, if you've only played Pac-Man on the NES with a regular controller, you've got to use the Advantage for it. It works great. And below that, he's got not one, but two ROBs, the Robotic Operating Buddy. Any of you played fishing on the Dreamcast? It's a great controller if you like fishing. Check this out, guys. That is a really rare handheld there. There's a boxed Power Glove. Pretty awesome. That's the large size. It was available in a smaller size as well. Boxed Microvision is always good to see. Just so many items that you're just not going to see hardly ever anywhere else. Just incredible. Guys, I remember when this Neo Geo Pocket Color was at Incredible Universe for $60. And he's still got his sealed, Game Boy Micro sealed. That's pretty awesome. And we continue on with more controllers, including boxed TurboGrafx controllers back there. Just incredible. The IntelliVoice, sadly, just a few games were released for that awesome voice effects unit there. And check this out, guys. Unbelievably, just here near the floor, a complete and unused, unopened copy of Earthbound in stunning condition. Just incredible. Just not something you see every day. Let's take a look at this. Be very careful. Awesome. What a collection. Guys, you remember the power base converter that would let you play Master System games on the Genesis? And check out the U-Force controller. Terrible controller, but excellent collectible. Most of Stacy's boxed games are in another room, but this shelf fits these 3DO titles perfectly. He's got just enough room. And guys, he has got an incredible set of 3DO games, including games you just don't see anywhere. I mean, I'm looking at them right now, and I don't even see them. Sorry, that's a bad joke, but it's just incredible to see all these in the box. Check it out, 3DO Night Trap, infamous game. Considered very controversial back in the day for content, which seems pretty silly now. Road Rash, my favorite game for the console, at least the favorite one that I've played. Space Ace, man, you Dragon's Lair fans, I'm sure you'd love to have that in your collection. Just astonishing to see so many 3DO games in one place. And he's even got some Neo Geo stuff up here. Pretty darn cool. And like I said, most of the games in this room are cartridge only, but he has some games boxed in here, including factory sealed copies of games for the APF MP1000. That is just remarkable to have some of these unopened. And check this out. His Fairchild Channel F boxed games are in this room, including Video Whizball. Guys, this is a legitimately fun two-player game on the Fairchild. One of the best games for the console, probably the best. And you guys know that I love me some Fairchild Channel F, very nostalgic, and I love the box art. It's like, reminds me of old 8-track tapes. Guys, every room in this home museum is laid out extremely well with shelves built by Stacy and his dad. And as you can see here, Chris, thanks for showing this, doing your best Vanna White impersonation. Check out these Famicom games up there. Love the colors. But guys, let's get to some boxed games and some more rare titles. Lots more rare titles, including some stuff that are going to blow your mind. Now guys, along with all this rare stuff, he's got a lot of fun and whimsy. Just, toys throughout. And I love that he really leans into just the fun of game collecting. Got some e-readers up there, which are getting really hard to find and have gone up a lot in price. But yeah, he's just got, just a really nice assortment of colorful and fun action figures and toys and a lot of stuff still in the box. Some rare old watches. And check this out, guys. 3 different lunch boxes from back in the day. All those 3 of these are very hard to find. Yeah, just a fun place to hang out and get to know Stacy a little bit. Great guy. All right, guys, room number 2, packed with incredible treasures, tons of box stuff. Here's another row of incredibly cool consoles, including some that are just breathtakingly rare. Have you guys ever seen this one from Diasonic? Have you heard of that company? Really interesting, cute little red console with sort of an Olympic theme. And this one's more common, but incredibly cool. Telegames Pong Sports 4, but not common, just, not as breathtakingly rare. Another Telegames console from Sears. Just all kinds of cool stuff here, guys. Coleco Telstar. That's a Colortron. Pretty obscure one from Coleco there. The Gemini, which is Coleco's Atari 2600 system, basically. The APF. APF makes some great Pong clones in addition to the MP1000. Tournament 1000 by Unisonic. Just scores of incredible Pong clones. Telematch 4. Guys, there are certain Pong clones that you do see from time to time, occasionally at conventions or things, but there are some here that you just don't see. The Adversaries. That's from National Semiconductor. Just astonishing. Now, there's one from Odyssey, the Odyssey 500. Always good to see the Magnavox consoles here. Let's see, what else do we have here? We've got a Triple Challenge and definitely an obscure one here. It's interesting how some of the games have the controllers just built in, where you don't, you have to stay right by the console to play it. And then some, more of them have the detachable or at least the extendable ones. Tandyvision 1, that's a pretty tough Radio Shack and Intellivision console to find, and it's in really gorgeous condition. And the Intellivision 3, which just plays regular Intellivision games, but it's got the little light there. And I remember the real Intellivision 3 never came out, unfortunately. And check this out, guys. Wonder Wizard television sports games. Yet another incredible and really interesting Pong clone. Again, with the rotary controls that are just built into the unit. Just astonishing. And of course, the Coleco Telstar Arcade. A little more common than some of these others, but still incredibly cool. That design is just crazy. And we've got a row of Atari 2600 controllers here. And below that is light gun collection, which is really neat to see all the different colors. And you've got these Justifier guns for the Genesis. You've got the Master System gun and a Zapper. Yeah, just gaming goodness throughout this house from floor to ceiling. You guys know the Genesis CDX is incredibly rare. That would be a centerpiece of a lot of collections, but here it is just among all these other amazing artifacts. First to mention Video Sports, kind of a big bulky Pong clone. Guys, there were probably between 150 to 200 Pong clones back in the day during the first generation of consoles. And yes, he does collect Atari 8-bit as well. He's got some computer stuff in here for sure. Guys, we were just about to get to this incredible couple of walls of boxed games for different consoles. But just showing you some more whimsy here, including these plushies and the little Pac-Man guy here. Yet another Pong clone and / shitting gallery game. Television 2 came packed with Burger Time. Does not play the Coleco brand in television games. And a couple of boxed Genesis and Sega CD with Tomcat Alley. Awesome. Stacy is still a gamer and keeping up with the new systems, the more modern stuff, but we're all about retro today, including this Telstar Combat. Guys, I remember getting this at a garage sale sometime in the early 2000s, and I got it for like $5. I ended up selling it on eBay. I kind of wish I had that one back. It's extremely cool. It's a fun game, too. And check out this 2 massive walls of boxed games, including a complete Sega Pico set. Lots of boxed Game Boy games here. A lot of these have just really skyrocketed in price. Even just some of the lesser titles or just some of the more random titles have gone up in price like crazy. Guys, when's the last time you've seen a complete collection of Microvision games? Including, did you guys know they made a Star Trek game for the console? Phaser Strike. Among the 45 complete North American sets, he does have a complete collection of Sega Genesis games, and many of them are in the box, as you can see here, including Bubsy. What could possibly go wrong? How many of you guys remember that tagline for that infamous platformer? It got a lot of buzz, a lot of magazine coverage, and it was heavily advertised, and wasn't the greatest platformer of all time, but it actually had some decent reviews. Devilish, fantastic pinball title there. And yeah, lots of, this is a tough one to find. Flintstones on the Genesis. Not as tough as, Surprise at Dinosaur Peak for the NES, but definitely pretty scarce. It's another hard to find, highly sought after game on the Genesis. So cool to see so many boxed games from one of the best consoles of all time, in my opinion. I love that 16-bit era with the Genesis TurboGrafx and Super Nintendo. Has there ever been a better lineup of systems in one console era as those three? Just remarkable. Little quad challenge action there. Great stuff. And the Genesis collection goes on down to the next shelf below because he's just got so dang many of them. This one's getting to be a really expensive title. Valis 3. Vector Man, that was a great platformer, sort of competed with Donkey Kong 64, kind of contemporary of that Super Nintendo game. Thunder Force 2 and 3, excellent side-scrolling shooters. Love those games. Check it out, $4.99. It's probably what he paid for. Most of this stuff Stacy Burns got back in the day. He still collects actively, but so much of this stuff he got when he started collecting in 97 and into the 2000s when games were still considered worthless. The older stuff was just pennies on the dollar. Space Invaders 91 for $6.99 at some point. Goes for a lot more than that, complete in the box. I love that game. Very underrated shooter for the console. It adds some great power-ups and music. Fantastic reimagining of Space Invaders. Now, guys, in a minute, I'm going to show you something truly astonishing. It's two massive rows of factory-sealed games, and some of them are extremely rare. So many factory-sealed games, it'll make your head explode. He's got two of the adult titles for the Atari 2600. One of the few North American consoles he doesn't have a complete collection for is the 2600, because that is one tough system to collect for. There are so many games that were discovered later, so many obscure titles, and when do you really complete your 2600 collection anyway? It's really hard to quantify. Just a vast library. And as advertised, here's the complete row, two rows actually, of sealed games, everything from the Xbox to the Atari 7800 to the Super Nintendo. Check it out, guys. Two Link to the Past that are factory sealed. And there's Frogger, last game for the Super Nintendo, at least back in the day, last original release. And sealed N64 games are very highly sought after. And NES, guys, there's a classic series, Zelda for the NES. Got to be very careful with these. These sealed games, you really got to keep these in pristine condition because you can play open ones. Check out all those copies of Clockwork Knight. That's a lot of sealed games for the Saturn. Even some 32X and Sega CD, some 360. Check it out, guys. A complete collection of Gamecom. Probably one of the worst consoles of all time. It's definitely in the running, but interesting to collect for. Ooh, these Game Boy games sealed. Very tough to find. In a sealed Virtual Boy game. And it goes around to more sealed games. Do you collect sealed games? Be sure and let me know in the comments. Now, a lot of people say games are meant to be played, but if you've got something this rare, this unusual, and it's sealed, boy, it'd be tough to open because, there you go. You're not going to find these at Walmart. And once you open it, there's no going back. And even some sealed Lynx games like Rampart, Crystal Mines 2, Pit Fighter, kind of an infamous fighting game. Awesome stuff. Now guys, like me, as I mentioned earlier, Stacy Burns has been collecting video games for a very long time. And he told me he paid $2.50 for this copy of Bucky O'Hare. Look, there's the price tag right there, $2.50 from Game Source. Yeah, guys, these games were just so cheap in the 90s. Ooh, there's Chiller. That's a really awesome game. Very, at least as far as the box art, and it's got, for the NES, it's pretty unfamily friendly. Dragon Warrior games there, obviously very desirable and sought after. Yeah, just a gorgeous row of NES games, and he's still working to try to get a complete set. And again, like the 2600, that's a very hard set to put together. Power Blade's a very hard game to find. Pretty cool stuff. Guys, I had a blast with Short Order Explode back in the day, playing that with my kids. It's a fun power pad game. Sunday Fun Day, boy, that is a tough box to find. Just incredible stuff. You guys played Superman? Love the box art, not crazy about the game. Has a classic look though. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now his row of Super Nintendo games, he doesn't have a complete CIB set, but he does have a complete set, and he has a lot of boxed games, including some of the harder to find ones. Frantic Flea, not a great game, but kind of a tough box to find. Good collection of these Super Nintendo games. Jurassic Park Part 2 is a tough one to find. Mega Man X. Yeah, it's hard to believe the way this museum is set up, how professionally organized everything is, how good it looks, and just the shelving and the history here. This could easily be a museum that you would pay to go to, and which I would gladly do. But Stacy and his wife were gracious enough to let me come check out the museum in person. We'd been talking about this for a long time, and glad to finally make it happen. Really cool to see just a ridiculous amount of games that a lot of us grew up playing, and a lot of us would love to add to our collections. Check out all these TurboGrafx games. These games have gone up so much in value recently. Have gotten so hard to find, especially in the box. Air Zonk, definitely a tough one to find. Boxed like that. A sealed copy of Valis 3. Good grief. Just remarkable. Thank you, Stacy, once again, and Christy, for letting me check out this amazing collection. And guys, let me know in the comments, what is the coolest, rarest, most awesome item you saw in this video? What was your favorite item you saw? I would love to hear from you on that. Also, be sure and click on the link in the description to part 2 of this video, because it is available right now. All right, guys, thank you so much for liking. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, share this video. Stacy would love to show this collection to as many people as possible. And your friends and your fellow gamers would thank you guys, because this is absolutely amazing. Again, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you in another video.